Hey, this is Judd from Gensyn, and today we are going to be continuing the Delphi walkthrough miniseries by looking at buying and selling positions in markets on Delphi. We'll be looking at all of the information visible on a market's card in either the preview or when you're on that market's page. Understanding the charts, understanding the different elements, and getting a feel for all of the information that's available to you to help you decide to buy or sell positions in a market. Since I've already connected a wallet and funded it with USDC, the only thing that's left for me to do is to find a market I'm interested in and then start buying or selling a position there. If you're looking at the homepage, you'll see that there are a few different ways you can search or filter markets. So we can filter on the right-hand side by most liquidity, most recent, and then closing earliest. We can see markets that are active, pending, settled, or canceled. Or I can filter by category by clicking any of these categories here. And lastly, I can also search a keyword of my choice, let's say aliens, to see if there's any markets around aliens or grand theft, auto, or Bitcoin, or anything that is currently on Delphi. I'm interested in who's going to win the English Premier League, so I'm going to click on this market right here. Let's take a quick look at what information is available to us when we click on a market. So obviously I have the title of the market right here in the category that it's in. I have the address of the market creator right here, and I can copy that. I can see what the leading outcome is, how many trades have been made, and when that last trade was. And I can also see that this is an active market. On the right-hand side here, I can see the default trading percentage. I can see the total amount of liquidity in that market, and then the volume, how much has been traded in this market. I can also see when it was created, and then when it closes and settles by. And then I can also see the settlement section. Just below the market stats section, I can also see the AI settlement section. This will show what model will be used to settle the market, as well as the settlement prompt, any data sources, and then the valid outcomes, which pairs directly with the outcomes that are tradable here. We can also gauge market sentiment and how it's evolved over time using the market sentiment chart. So we can see here, for example, that the implied probability of Manchester City winning the English Premier League has essentially gone down by about 40% over the last just 3 days alone. And then just below that, I can also see any positions that I have in this market. Right now, I don't have any, but we'll change that in just a minute. Finally, we can also see the creator stats. So the creator's wallet address is pasted here, the number of markets they've created and what they've settled, and then the total volume that have passed through that creator's markets all time. We can also quickly see all of the markets that creator has made, which ones they've settled, which ones are active, and if there are any that have closed without being settled, which is the case right here. At this point, I'd like to place a trade for some shares of the Arsenal outcome. So I'm going to select Arsenal, head down here to the buy or sell, and then I'm going to purchase 4 USD worth of positions for the Arsenal outcome. We'll hit trade, market, outcome, shares received, and then the total, including the 2% trading fee. Hit confirm, give it a second. And just like that, I've purchased some shares of Arsenal. So now if I scroll down to the My Position section, which was previously sort of grayed out, we'll see it's been populated. So I have a brief explanatory on what position values are, and I can see what the outcome that I have here is, the cost, the shares, and then the current value. We can also see the My Payout Preview section, which gives me an estimate of what my position might be worth if the market were to settle and resolve to that specific outcome. Now that I've purchased a position in a market, if I head over to activity, which was previously blank, I can now see that the total traded USDC counter has updated. The win rate in the markets created have remained the same because that market hasn't resolved yet and I haven't created any markets. But I can also see the open positions right here, which will link me back to the market. It'll give me some information on the position here. So for example, the claim was Arsenal, there was the cost, the current value, and whatever percentage pool that outcome is sharing. So if we head back to my positions, you'll see that I also purchased a couple of shares worth of the Manchester City outcome. Now, fair warning, 37 of 38 matches have already been played, and Arsenal has a 4-point lead. So Manchester City is not going to cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the top here. I'm going to select it, and then I can switch this buy toggle to sell, and I can hit trade. There's also an important disclaimer right here that selling will liquidate your entire position and that you cannot sell any partial positions. So I will hit trade here, and then confirm to sell that entire position. Heading down now to the My Positions section, you'll see that the Manchester City outcome has been removed because I sold it. And if I head back over to the activity, you'll see that the Open Positions section does not reflect the Manchester City position anymore. In case you haven't seen it, you can also purchase and sell positions in markets on Delphi using the Delphi SDK and the agentic trading toolkit to essentially use natural language and agents to manage your portfolio, do market research, and all that fun stuff. So let's do a quick demo. So I typed this in natural language. I said, buy 1 share of the Arsenal outcome in the 25-26 English Premier League market. And then Claude, my agent, read the Delphi skills and then executed the correct commands. And I've purchased 1 Arsenal share right here. Just like that, we've covered buying and selling positions. And now stay tuned for the next video where we talk about creating markets. Thanks.